Hey, 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 what is up, my social media fam? I am so pumped to be live with y'all today, as I am every time I go live, because I just love going live and getting to share things with you that's going to help you. I was just thinking the other day, like, man, when people are winning, it fills my cup. So the fact that God allows me to share things that help people win in their life, I don't take it lightly. I'm honored by it. And so thank you so much for spending time with me on this live, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching on the replay. Thank you. Like, I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me speak into your life and just being a part of this community. If you are brand new to me on social, welcome. I am April Nicole Scipio. I am the founder and visionary of Live Lovely Media. I get to lead an incredible community of purpose-driven women, and we just get to do all kind of amazing things to experience the more that God has for our lives, that He has for our businesses, that He has just for our communities, our ministries, just all the things. And I actually want to just talk to you today about these three words: keep it simple. And these are words that have been spoken to me by the Lord, like, for the last couple weeks. He's just been reminding me, keep it simple, keep it simple, keep it simple, especially when it comes to just getting in, the habit of being more intentional, of doing things that take care of myself and things that are going to help grow my business, things that are going to help my ministry reach more women. Like, all the things that I'm doing, all the hats that I'm wearing, if it could be the same for you, like, in your life, in my life, if we are not intentional about keeping things simple, it can become very overwhelming. And what happens, we get paralyzed. Sometimes I don't know about you, but sometimes we can think, I have so much to do or have so many things to tend to, that we just do nothing. And so I want to talk just for a few minutes today about just keeping it simple when it comes to taking care of you, because this is where we have to start. We are deceived if we think that we're going to be able to take care of the family, take care of the marriage, take care of the business, take care of the home, take care of the community, like all the things that we want to take care of. If we aren't taking care of us, like, we're deceived thinking that we're going to be effective at all those other areas. And so I want to talk to you today for a few minutes just about how I am focusing on keeping it simple, hoping that today I spark something, that I say something that sparks inspiration in you, where you are looking at your life and what you're doing and taking care, how you're taking care of you, and the fact that you can keep it simple. And so let's jump into this. Those of you who are watching live, thank you so much for being here with me. Feel free to jump in the comments. Those of you who are watching on the replay, you can put hashtag replay like you always do. It blesses me to see who gets connected. So, keeping it simple. So here is how we can keep it simple in this season of life as we are doing all the things. I remember that I am three parts, and I want you to remember that, right? So you are spirit, you are soul, you are body. And so we're going to look at, how can I take care of these three parts of me in a very practical and simple way? Like, let's just keep it simple. Now, if we can just get this foundation down, we are going to be able to add to it as God leads. But if we don't add to it, if He doesn't lead us to add to it, it's okay. Hey, thank you, guys. You're in my Facebook community, so I know, like, our platform doesn't always let me see your name, but I'm glad that you're working and watching. Thanks for hopping on. So we're gonna start with just the real us, which is the spirit man of us, right? We are a spirit, we have a soul, we live in a body. Okay. So, keeping it simple, what does that mean? Like, how can you take care of you, the spirit man, the inner parts of you, in a very simplistic way? Here's what we can do: make sure we're spending time in the word, we are spending time in worship, and spending time in prayer. Super simple. Worship, word, prayer. And it can look very, like, minimal for you. Like, don't think that if you can't spend an hour reading your Bible every day, that, you're not growing spiritually. Or, man, if I'm not spending an hour in prayer, then I really don't have a prayer life. Now, is it awesome to spend an hour in prayer? Is it awesome to spend an hour in the word? Like, of course, but I don't want you to have this all or nothing mentality, right? Sometimes it's like, man, if I can't go all out, then I might as well not do anything. And that's so far from the truth. Like, we have to be able to celebrate just the fact that we can keep it simple and keep keep the train moving. So even if you only have like 15 minutes in the morning, hey, I can do 5 minutes, like, just reading my chapter for the day. I can spend 5 minutes listening to a worship song, and I can spend 5 minutes praying over, my family, praying over my home, praying over the things that God puts in my heart. Like, keep it simple, you guys. Keep it simple because these steps will help move the needle. It doesn't matter how small the steps are, like we just have to keep taking steps. The enemy would love for you to think because you can't take these huge gigantic steps that you might as well not take any step because he just wants to keep you stuck. He just wants to keep you stagnant, but that's not how we're rolling, right? We're going to keep moving. So keep it simple. 5 minutes reading my scripture, 5 minutes worshiping, 5 minutes in prayer, and guess what? I'm keeping it simple, and I'm making sure that I'm taking care of the spirit part of me, the inner part of me. All right, let's move over to your soul. What is your soul? Your soul is your mind, your will, and your emotions. How do I take care of that? In a very simplistic way. Again, there are things we can add to this, but bare bones, keeping it simple, what can I do? So for me, I want to evaluate three things: what I'm watching, what I'm listening to, and what I'm saying. Those are three things that you can pay attention to that directly affects your mind, your will, and your emotions. So if you are feeling some kind of way, like uneasy in your soul, okay, what can I watch? Or what do I need to stop watching to help my soul be healthy? What am I listening to? What music am I listening to? What podcast am I listening to? What people, come on, somebody, what people am I listening to? And also, then what am I saying, right? Sometimes a thought will come that's a negative thought, and we're tempted for that negative thought to come out of our mouths. But no, I want to make sure like my words are aligning with what God is saying, with the truth of his word. And so that's one way we can keep it simple when it comes to taking care of our souls. What am I listening to? What am I watching? What am I saying? All right. So now we're going to talk about the body. All right. How can we keep it simple when it comes to taking care of our physical bodies? Now, for some of us, like we're all at different degrees of taking care of our physical bodies and all the things with working out and all of that. But let me tell you guys the bare bones. Like, keep it simple. Sometimes if I feel some kind of way, like I'm not taking care of my body, God often reminds me, keep it simple. So here's what we can do: keep it simple, making sure we're getting adequate sleep. Number one, and I'm like pausing for effect here because 9 times out of 10, this is the one that kind of trickles down. I have to remind myself, nope, let me just get some more sleep. Sometimes I was on a live video. I have a wonderful friend, Pastor Paul, and I'm in his community. Shout out to my Deeper Waters community. And one of the things that they were talking about yesterday was like how we have to rest. And one of the things I commented was like, man, sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is take a nap. Like, come on, somebody. So I have to say, okay, make sure I'm getting adequate sleep, right? Secondly, I got to make sure how's my water? How's my water intake? And then third, how am I just moving my body? That doesn't mean I have to do a full blown workout, but man, am I moving my body? Maybe that's getting up and walking outside. If I have a full work day in the office and I know I'm not going to get much movement in, having those strategic times in the day to get up, walk outside, walk back in, walk upstairs. Like, let's just get my body moving. That is so helpful. So when it comes to the bare bones of like taking care of your physical body, you can just say, okay, am I getting enough sleep? Am I drinking my water? Am I moving my body? And those three things, keeping it simple, are three things that you can pay attention to really help you take care of you. So I want to challenge you today. Like, maybe you have gotten off track of taking care of you because you tried to do all the things, or you tried to take on more than what you can take on right now. And sometimes that can feel overwhelming, and the enemy wants you to do nothing. But today, I want you to ask yourself, what is just the one thing I can do today to move me in the right direction, right? I just want to keep this simple, right? Maybe I just need to focus on just keeping it simple, taking care of my inner man. I'm going to do my 5 minutes in the word, 5 minutes of worship, 5 minutes in prayer. Or maybe, you know what? My soul, my emotions, my mental health. Like, I just really want to focus on that. And so let me think about, what am I watching? What am I listening to? What am I saying? Or maybe your focus this week is going to be your physical body. Let me make sure I'm getting adequate sleep this week, drinking my water this week, moving my body this week. So I don't know where you are, but I want to encourage you to pick one thing to focus on. Let's move the needle a little bit this week, right? And so I hope I encourage you. Let me know in the comments either now, or maybe you want to think about it and come back to the replay. But what is the thing that you want to focus on this week? Let's say it out loud, because that's a level of accountability. Like, what are you committing this week to focusing on? Because you are worth it. Something I say often is, yeah, taking care of yourself is work, but you are so worth the work. The future version of you is counting on the present version of you to take care of you, so they can be set up for success, right? Did y'all catch that? So the April Nicole Scipio that exists 5 years from now, me today is the only April Nicole Scipio that can set her up for success. And so what can I do today that's going to set up future April Nicole Scipio up for success? I want you to think about that for your life. I love you guys with the love of Christ. So many amazing things are coming down the pipe for this community. If you are not already a part of the Live Lovely community, you need to join. It doesn't cost anything to join, but there are other mentorship levels that you can invest in if you choose to. But as a community, starting next Monday, we are going to be going through my newest devotional together, Rescue Breaths. And that's a great way to really invest in your soul, right? I remember when the Lord had allowed me to write this, and I knew that people were feeling a sense of overwhelm in a lot of areas of their life, almost to the point where they felt like they were suffocating. And through this devotional, you're going to get just a good deep breath of fresh air, and really I feel like the Lord's going to rescue us this series from a lot of things, because we're being intentional about leaning into him. And I want you to be a part of it. And so inside of our private community, starting on Monday, next week on Monday, we're going to be walking through that devotional together as a community. So make sure to join the Live Lovely community and be a part of that. I love you all with the love of Christ. I cannot wait to see what God has in store. And I'll be back here live again on Thursday at 2 p.m. Central. So make sure to set your notifications and be a part of it. But yeah, let me know in the comments how you are keeping it simple this week. I love you, and I'll see you then. Take care.